There have been many of you who have been asking about how to do a 12-lead EKG. I know looking at the machine and all the wires can be very intimidating, but once you do one, maybe two, it is quite simple. First off, I got the machine from the ICU. I always let the ICU nurse know that I am taking it just in case they do have emergencies. We'll be getting the stickers out of this little compartment, and they typically are always there. We do have extra in the OR, as well as also in the NICU. So we have 10 stickers, okay? We have 4 limb leads as well as 6 ventricle leads. And yes, you don't need a calculator, that only equals 10. So, first thing I would recommend your patient do is lie down flat. Of course, I'm gonna introduce myself to my patient using AIDIT, okay? And we're gonna start off by putting, going in a big giant circle with our leads, okay? But we're gonna start off with our limb leads. So first, you want to go on the right arm, and it is also good and preferred to go on approximately the same location on the other side. So we have our right arm, our left arm. Now we're gonna do our left leg, and it's good to go over a meaty prominence and not really like a bony prominence like on top. And of course, these are limb leads, so it's encouraged to go on the limbs. Now for the ventricle leads. And this can be a little bit intimidating, but it's important to know some of our landmarks. First, we note our sternum on our mannequin that has a very small chest. The next thing we notice is the sternal notch. We all have a sternal notch. And going down, you might notice a hump. At the end of the sternal notch, where that hump is actually called the angle of Lewis. Where it ends is approximately at the second intercostal space for all people. So our V1 actually goes on the 4th intercostal space, but this gives us a good landmark to go off of. So we have our intercostal space 2, 3, and 4. So using our imagination, we're going to say this is the 4th intercostal space. V1 goes right next to, or right or left of the sternum. Our V2 goes directly horizontal to V1 on the other side of the sternum. Now we're going to actually place the 4th lead, and let me tell you why. It actually goes at the mid-clavicular line at the 5th intercostal space. So we have our clavicle here, we're going to go down, and this is at approximately the 5th intercostal space. Now, V3 goes equidistant between V2 as well as V4. So we're going to place it right here. One mistake I often see is people will actually they will put the leads across the breast if a woman has very large breasts. This is inaccurate and can give us wrong results. So it is important to lift up the breast and to place the electrodes in the correct location. So V5 is directly horizontal of V4 at the mid-axillary line. And then V6 is mid-axillary directly to that, horizontal to that. Now, I highly recommend this, and I can't encourage this enough, is to always place this in between the patient's legs. From here, we're gonna go in a giant circle by placing our leads. And by doing it this way, you will never cross your leads. And if you look real close, it actually starts off with the right leg with the green lead going to the left leg. So I've also straightened out all the cords because doing this will decrease the artifact. So tracing from the box all the way to the end and putting it in that big giant circle that I'm talking about will never allow you to cross those leads. So I have our V1, and so we know that goes at the 1st intercostal space. V2 goes right there. Tracing our V3, the equidistance between this V2 and V4. Now we have our V4. V5. V6. Now we have our LA, meaning left arm. Okay, and then now we're going to end with our left leg. Once all our leads are placed and our data is in, our patient's information is in the EKG machine, we will then press the blue EKG machine once we have a smooth 6-second strip, and the EKG will automatically print here.